Breaks.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back and welcome to the first section, the fan section, fan segment, if you want to call it like that. We have a special fan over there for a team that is exceeding expectation. Sebastian, how you doing today?
Good, man. Good. Everything's good. Could be a little bit better. We didn't close out yesterday, but we're good. Feeling nice. It's great, man. Good to be here.
All right. Your team is really doing well. Team is, like I said, exceeding expectation. We did call them underdog. I feel like they passed that phase. Like we can actually call them like a championship contender in the East and also get into the finals.
Yeah, let's specify. We're talking about Miami, right?
Yeah, Miami Heat. We're talking about. You see the. If you want, you can like wave it if you're a little bit.
Got the jerseys right here. Everything's set.
So yeah, like I said, guys, welcome to the first section, the fan section. À la une de Arena. It's gonna be available. Let's get into it. Like I said, you guys see all the jerseys. We're going to talk about the Miami Heat. They finished 5th in this season, 44 wins, 29 losses. Made the playoffs, swept the Indiana Pacers in the first round, up 3-1 against the number 1 seed, Milwaukee Bucks, and also against the potential MVP Giannis. So I have a question for Sebastian. Did you expect this outcome this season?
Okay. So there's always two sides of it, right? There's the biased fan side and there's the realistic side. I believe in the beginning of the season we spoke about this already, and you asked me where I thought the Heat could reach, and I always told you that we could be a top 4 seed easily. I know that we finished in the 5th seed this year, but it really didn't matter at the end of this, because 4 and 5, it's the same matchup anyways. I know they let go of some games towards the end. We finished 5th seed, true, but I also did say that we could reach the Eastern Conference Finals, and it's looking like we are. So I'm overall very satisfied with how the team is playing. I can't say that I had full confidence in saying that we would be where we are today, but it's good to see, and I'm not surprised. Let's just put it that way. It's like I didn't expect it to be this good, but I'm also not surprised because we got a bunch of dogs out there, man. It's good.
There's a group of good players over there. Like you have obviously Jimmy Butler. You have a lot of young guys balling out. One thing I have noticed is that all throughout the season, when I saw they were playing against the Bucks the second round, I did say it was gonna go to game 6-7, that Miami Heat might win because of the matchup and stuff like that. But I didn't think that they were gonna get there. So I'll be honest.
I don't think anyone did.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone thought Miami would have the Bucks down 3-0.
Yeah, 3-0.
And they obviously they won one last night, but still, like I don't think they have any chance of coming back and winning this. So.
Oh, they're playing Tuesday night, if I believe.
Yeah,
I believe that's
Tuesday.
6:30 Eastern time, so you guys can catch this. Let's get into the Miami Heat right now. Tyler Hero, 13th overall pick. He was averaging 14 points when he was playing in Kentucky. He also was averaging 46 in the field, 36 in threes. With the Heat this season, he averaged 13.5 points per game, 39% in threes. In the playoff, he kind of increased that. He's averaging 15 points now. What question I have for you right now is that did you expect Tyler Hero to be this ready in his first year and in transition that in the playoff? Like, did you think he was going to be that useful for your team?
Ever since Tyler Hero got drafted, I don't personally watch college sports that much, so I didn't really know who he was before. I have a lot of friends of mine that spoke highly of him, and I knew we had a good one. I knew we had a great shooter. Everyone knew he was the best shooter in the draft before we picked him up. But for me to say that I thought it would be this good, again, I didn't think so. If you paid attention, you're watching him play. Like, as a rookie, he doesn't look like a rookie on the court.
Not at all.
He doesn't look like a rookie on the court. We call him, Heat fans call him the baby goat, because we see him as sky's the limit with him. He's a dog. I wish his defense would be like slightly better, but it's getting there. So much to develop. He's only 20 years old, but to see him making some big time shots in playoff games and crucial situations, it's a blessing. And as you see, like, you have players on the team like Jimmy Butler, who's always praising Tyler Hero, and you would think it's just because he's his teammate. No, Jimmy's not just nice to people for no reason. He's meaning what he's saying. Tyler Hero is a problem on the court, and I wish he would be playing more minutes if his defense was better, and you know how the Heat were focused on defense a lot, but his offense is definitely there, and there's so much room to get much better. He plays point for us sometimes. It's just, I think sky's the limit for the kid, man.
Yeah.
He's great. He's great.
Yeah, like you said, 20 years. Yeah, he only has room to improve. So you got something there, like really, really.
yeah. Baby goats. How you gotta do it like this?
We're moving on with Duncan Robinson. I believe he was undrafted in 2018.
Undrafted, yes.
And he is now shooting 44% in the field, in the threes actually this season. A pure shooter, catch and shoot, I believe also.
Mm-hmm. Not off the dribble, more catch and shoot.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the Heat staff get this guy undrafted. Describe me like the process of, like, what's the potential they saw in him, and they say, okay, at this point of the time, he's gonna be this useful. Like, what did the staff do with him?
From what I heard, because obviously, like, I don't have the ins and outs, but from what I heard, there was a coach that had called Spoelstra and told him, like, hey, you got to take a look at this kid because his mechanics are there. Like, he's a very good shooter. And then I think Spoelstra took a look at him. They called him, and then it was just, from there on, it went to there. He went from playing. Apparently, he was a terrible high school basketball player. He played in D3 college, so most of these guys don't even make the NBA. It's not a chance. You got to be like D1 or D2, maybe D3 though. Like, it's very rare. I remember last year, like, there was times where the Heat would bench him because he wouldn't shoot the ball. Like, he didn't have the confidence to shoot. And they used to yell at him, literally. That's the thing in Miami. They yell at players. They yell at players, and if you gotta be able to take it. And he learned from good players around him. They're telling him, we have confidence in him. Like, you're the best player on this team. You're the best shooter. Well, not the best player, the best shooter on this team. So there's no reason why you shouldn't shoot the ball. If Duncan Robinson has a glimpse of space, he has to shoot it. I think he's like one of the players that has a green light in Miami in terms of shooting threes, and it's because he does it at such a high clip, and it's also very efficient in terms of, like, when he shoots the ball, you expect him to make it.
Yeah.
And it used to be just Heat fans now, but now you feel the consensus around. Like when you're watching playoff basketball, when people are watching the Miami Heat play, Duncan Robinson shoots, you expect it to go in.
Every time I see him open, or even if he's not too open, if there's a little gap, I expect him to.
I give him now the treatment that I used to give to Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. You know, like when they shoot, they shoot, and you're like, oh, that's going in. Like that's how I feel when Duncan Robinson shoots the ball.
Well deserved 44%. Yeah, well deserved.
Best shooter in the league, man.
Oh, you heard him. Bam Adebayo, 14th overall, I believe, in 2017. Excellent first All-Star this season as well. The question I wanted to ask you, is he your Draymond Green in terms of your engine? Is he your engine of your team? Because I feel like Jimmy Butler said that once, that's the engine and the soul of the team. Do you believe he's your engine of your team?
I believe Bam he's the workhorse. He's the heart of the team. Obviously a lot of it is focused on Jimmy, because Jimmy is always, getting into lanes and stealing passes and everything, and he can guard a lot of players on the court. But Bam can literally guard 1 through 5, and that means from point guard to center. And he does it effectively. He does it well. You see how he's playing defense on Giannis right now, and they match up well. Physically, he can match up with anybody. He's quick. He's athletic. He's defensive minded, and his offense is just getting better and better and better. And if you notice, it's not even just defensively. Bam sets some of the most screens on the team to get players open for shots. Like Duncan Robinson, he does that dribble handoff with Duncan Robinson all the time. I think Bam is the most important part of the Miami Heat. To say that if we were to not have Bam or Jimmy, I think the team could still have some sort of level of success without Jimmy on the court. But without Bam, I don't think anything goes well. He's literally the center, and you see the coach will say that too. Spoelstra will say that all the time. He says when we have good defensive games, it's because Bam is going all out, doing well. And honestly, sky's the limit for this kid, man. I can't wait for him to start expanding his shots. He's hitting mid-range shots now. I want him to hit the 3. Hopefully at some point, it's gonna come. It's gonna come.
I mean, Pat Riley did a move to send Whiteside away. I believe he saw something in Bam, so it's showing now. Because I don't know, a lot of people were saying, "Hey, sending Whiteside away for a guy that we're not sure about it yet," but he's showing it right now. First All-Star, sky is the limit also for him. And last, we're gonna talk about the superstar of the team, the dog. He's locked in. That's what he's saying. He has no time for family right now. Locked in. Jimmy Butler, averaging 22.4 points per game in the playoff right now. Big factor in game 1. I believe he had 40 points or more. Game 2 also with those last 2 free throws, clutch. He said that he is locked in, Sebastien. But the question I have for you is as soon as Jimmy came into the team, I feel like the Heat were a different team in terms of mentality and what they're focused about. What did you think that Jimmy Butler brought to this team and carried on to the playoffs?
Okay, so I don't think he necessarily. Well, of course he brought it to the team, but I feel like the culture, and you see that's the word a lot of Heat fans use, is the word culture, and I think it means a lot because before Jimmy came, that was already the mindset of the team. We have to play defense hard. Mm-hmm. Miami has never been a team that doesn't compete. Even after we lost LeBron and, obviously Wade retired and he had left, he came back and retired. You would see the Heat still be more of a middle team. We never were a lottery team because again, the coach, the GM, Pat Riley, he doesn't mess around with stuff like that. Mm-hmm. For Pat Riley, you have to play, man. You have to compete. There's no such thing as tanking. We don't believe in that shit. We believe in free agency, maybe hitting some pieces in the draft. What Jimmy brought to the team was, I feel like he completed the team. I feel like because if you compare his personality, his attitude with how Miami Heat functions, that's Jimmy Butler. Yeah. And everyone was saying that before he came, but now that he's here, you really see it flourish into what it's supposed to be because everyone bought in. Jimmy was known to be an asshole and a bad teammate. Everyone, no one really wanted to play with him. Supposedly, according to the media, But when you see him now, it's well, I guess the problem before was that they didn't want to be held accountable. If you mess up on the court, you have to have someone that's telling you that. And that's what Jimmy does. Jimmy doesn't, he's here for business. At the same time, he loves his teammates. Everything is there. He talks so highly of his guys all the time. He's a great teammate from what I see. Obviously, I'm not in the locker room, but from what we see, he's a great teammate, and he's physical on the court. He's active. He doesn't give up. He's always ready to, he always wants to make a play. He's always ready for the moment. I'm never gonna call Jimmy Butler one of the most clutch players in the NBA because he's not. He's not. I don't think he's like one of the deadliest shooters, but for some reason in clutch time,
He's there.
he's there. He's always showing up, and he's willing everyone around him. That's the thing, because you have a lot of stars in the NBA that can do things for themselves.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say that lightly, because obviously, like, LeBron is someone that makes everyone around him better, right? And I feel like we can also use that for Jimmy, because he makes everyone around him better. The way he talks to them, he gives you the confidence. Like, you can see him, and maybe you can call it cocky, call it arrogant. It works.
It works.
It works. He's a dog. That's what I call him. Is Jimmy Buckets, man.
It's right there.
Jimmy Buckets, man. Like, I bought this jersey the second this man came to Miami, bro. Listen, like, he's a dog. He's a dog. And it's not even just, the thing about it is that, he's not there to, like, be your scoring leader. No. He's there to make his presence felt on the court, deflecting passes on defense, getting steals, drawing fouls. This man is like, everything he does on the court is just so underrated. It's just, it's crazy.
It's showing too.
It's showing. Yeah. It's showing, and I'm hoping that it carries on to the next level and we can be very successful with this.
Up 3-1 against the Bucks. They're playing on Tuesday for an opportunity to close. If they do, they're gonna go to the Eastern Conference Finals, and they're gonna wait for Celtics or Toronto Raptors. That series right now is 2-2, so it's gonna take a little bit longer. So we're gonna see where it's gonna end up. I appreciate everyone that's watching right now for the first fan segment. That was for the Miami Heat. There's gonna be more coming in the future. Appreciate it. Thank you, Sebastien, for this opportunity. Anything you want to add in before we leave for the Miami Heat?
Unfortunately, we didn't get the second round sweep. I had the brooms ready, but it didn't happen. Hopefully, we can close out on Tuesday, and Eastern Conference Final is gonna be nice. And at this point, fuck it. Let's be cocky. Sky's the limit, baby. Let's go. Let's do it.
All right, guys. Peace.